Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is J.R. Moore coming to you live from deep in the mountains of the Missouri Ozarks. On Tuesday, the 17th day of September, year of our Lord 2019, welcome to the John Moore Show. We begin our shows with something that is highly unlikely to happen in the Berkeley City Council when they begin their meetings, but we begin our shows properly with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Prep tip of the day: if you do not have a kit to repair leather and canvas, well, you need one. It's a basic thing to have around any ranch, any farm. It really is. There's a company been around forever called Tandy. That's Tango Alpha November Delta Yankee, Tandy Leather Company. You can probably pretty much find everything you need at a Tandy store. I haven't looked online, but I'm sure they have an online business as well. We're going to have open lines this first hour. We're going to be talking about the possibility of civil war in this country. And the call number is 800-313-9443. I wrote a memorandum. It's at my website, right near the top of my homepage at thelibertyman.com. This was published the 5th day of July this year. It says, Memorandum, 5 July 2019, from John Moore to concerned parties. Subject, FTX, that's Foxtrot Tango X-Ray, TET offensive. FTX is an acronym, military acronym for field training exercise. TET offensive, of course, was the communist offensive in Vietnam to win the war, which failed miserably. Here's my memorandum. Ladies and gentlemen, in my capacity as a radio talk show host, I receive intelligence from several private sources. Most is routine. Some is disturbing. Some causes one to pause and reflect on the consequences of the intel being true. If the intel below becomes reality, our lives, our way of life, our culture, and our republic is at extreme risk. Next paragraph. My dilemma is, how do I warn people without putting myself into a box saying that XYZ will definitely take place in a particular time frame? I do so by offering my suggesting that we conduct a training exercise. In this case, field training exercise, TET offensive. New paragraph. I do not state that this concern will happen. Rather, I state that this concern could happen. This paper is a very condensed summary of rather complex matters of the greatest importance. Then we begin with intelligence summary in bold type. Private trusted sources are stating that commencing after the November 2020 election, a civil war will begin in the USA. That's 13 months away, by the way. Analysis. The enemies of freedom and our constitutional republic know that A, President Trump will be reelected. B, this president will destroy all of these socialist, communist programs, laws, and treaties. He will rebuild our military and appoint 100-plus conservative federal judges and probably 2 more Supreme Court justices. He will, already has, make the U.S. economy the envy of the world. C, that their plan A to take over the USA via fraud and deception will be wrecked for decades. D, that their plan B is now viable and must be implemented. Okay, so next we go on to Civil War II. The Communist, Democrat, Socialist, Muslim Plan B. A civil war doesn't just start. That is, we don't just go from normal civil society in a day or a week or a month to civil war. Rather, there must be many things, i.e. precursors, taking place over many decades to, quote-unquote, set the stage for a civil war to commence. If you want, quote-unquote, deep background details on the many decades-long international destruction of our culture, our country, our way of life, our republic, please read The Coming Civil War. That's a book, The Coming Civil War, by Tom Kaczynski. excellent book, The Coming Civil War by Tom Kaczynski. Kaczynski is spelled Kawczynski, phonetically, Kilo, Alpha, Whiskey, Charlie, Zebra, Yankee, November, Sierra, Kilo, India. It's in my article. Need to read the article. In the months leading up to Civil War, look for the following. Ferguson-style riots with multiple fatalities and multi-million-dollar property damage. Disruptions to the EBT cards used to buy food. Disruptions in the power grid. Muslim jihad attacks. When I first started reading articles making reference to the Civil War in the USA 8+ years ago, I quite frankly thought the authors were delusional. I no longer feel that way. Things have changed dramatically, and not for the good. New paragraph. Once these events have set the stage prior to November 2020, then our enemies may commence their Plan B, that i.e. Civil War. What would Civil War 2020 look like? It will be minorities against majorities, urban against rural, coalitions of Muslims and other minorities against the majority. Just prior, in brackets, a week or two at the most, to open warfare commencing, I expect assassinations of all elected officials, police chiefs, sheriffs, fire chiefs, paramedic chiefs, top military officers. Be advised, mainstream media has reported illegal aliens being arrested near our southern border with American police uniforms in their possession. With very minimal training, these criminals could casually walk into any police headquarters, police communications center, courthouse, telecommunications headquarters, electrical generation power site, including nuclear, our state capital to commit murder and destroy infrastructure at will. For those who don't know, the German army in World War II dressed German soldiers in American police military uniforms. These men had lived in the USA and spoke accent-free English. To say these imposters caused havoc would be a very mild characterization. Fast forward to 2020. A Caucasian male, physically fit, handsome with a proper Texas accent, howdy ma'am, wearing an immaculate Texas or any other foreign United States Highway Patrol uniform, who's actually Russian Spetsnaz. What an absolute nightmare. The author, Matt Bracken, his website is www.enemiesforeignanddomestic.com, enemiesforeignanddomestic.com, has written extensively on this matter. Read his books and articles. New paragraph. It will only take a very small number of paid operatives to spark civil war. I expect cyber and physical attacks on parts of the power grid, as well as telecommunications, terrorist attacks on large groups of people, and the possibility of tactical nuclear weapons being exploded. Be advised, lack of potable water and malnourishment leading to compromised human immune systems will kill more people than bullets. New paragraph. What the mainstream media will report as spontaneous riots will actually be pre-planned, orchestrated events. The goals of these events will be to create anger, animus, distrust, and envy to the point that it takes on a life of its own, becoming self-sustaining in the absence of paid professionals stirring the pot. Of course, our organized, trained, equipped, well-funded enemies, MS-13, street gangs, jihadists, Spetsnaz, communist cadre, Soros-funded protesters, rioters, will be behind the scenes doing their dirty deeds. That's the end of the memorandum. This is my reality. My reality is this is a possibility. I was just watching an interview with a couple of people. My friend Doug Hagman. I've known Doug for a number of years. We've talked privately quite a few times, and of course, I've been on his show. He's been on my show. Being interviewed by Lisa Haven. I met Lisa in Dallas a short time ago. Doug's talking about the possibility of civil war also. men and women who I know and respect and trust are saying the same thing, reaching their conclusions in their own manner, in their own way, in their own time, just like I have. When I mentioned that 8 years ago when I started reading these articles about possible civil war, I thought the authors were delusional. That is what I thought at the time, 8 years ago. How could this be? How could that even be a possibility? Well, it is. It is more than a possibility. It's a distinct possible reality, is what it is. Does President Trump know about these matters? Of course he does. Is he doing everything he can to mitigate? Of course he's doing everything he can to mitigate. Will he be able to? Quite frankly, I don't know. I hope and pray that he can. I'd rather be enjoying watching my grandchildren in their activities than having to protect them from hostile activity. I want to see my grandchildren have a happy, fun, full, productive childhood growing into adolescence and young adulthood. I don't want to see them having to be concerned about their personal safety, the safety of their parents. That's certainly not my goal. So I'm making preparations to do just that, to provide a safe haven for my family. Getting them here, that's going to be a challenge, 2,000 miles one way. There's different ways to accomplish it, and I'm looking at all the alternatives and putting things in place to help make that happen. In fact, I'm shipping my oldest grandson a Garmin GPS this morning. When the show's over, I'll be going to the post office and be shipping him a Garmin GPS priority mail signature confirmation in his college living situation with everybody coming and going. I want to make really sure that he gets this thing so he keeps it in his vehicle. He's already told his best buddy, who's on the football team with him, if the power goes out, we're headed for Missouri. Well, it's not much of a plan, but that's the way a 22-year-old thinks. I'm saying these things to encourage you and to inform you that you need to be considering these possibilities yourself. I do not have an emotional attachment to the outcome of what all you listeners do out there. That would not be wise on my part, on one hand. On the other, I've been through one war. I don't want to have to live through another one. If I have to, I will. I will do my best to prevail, to bring death and destruction to our enemies, and to protect the people I love. My first priority is to protect the people I love, not to go hunting for the enemy. If the opportunity presents itself, of course I'll do it, because I'm a soldier. I'm a warrior. That's what I do. But my main priority, my first priority, is protecting my daughter, my son-in-law, my grandchildren. That's my highest and first priority, and that's not going to change. I hope you have a similar priority to protect and preserve the people that you love. If you're a single guy, let's say you're a 25-year-old orphan with no significant other, no children, no parents, you're a veteran of one of these recent wars with skill sets that a veteran has, by all means, make going after the enemy your priority, if that's what you think you need to do. Most of us, however, are not in that situation. Most of us do have family that we love and care for, even if you don't. If you don't have skill sets to make you, to qualify you as a warrior, you got no business going after the bad guys. You really don't. All you're going to do is get hurt, get killed. Your priority needs to be taking care of yourself. That would be proper, a good role, and acquiring skill sets that would help whatever group you happen to be with. You don't want to go through this alone. You really don't. It may be a group of relatives, friends, neighbors, people you went to school with, people you go to church with, whatever it is. You need to be affiliated with a group of people that knows each other, trusts each other, and will come together to take care of each other. That's what needs to happen. Thinking you can go it alone, well, that's a massive mistake. There's a woman I know, she was invited to be part of our group here 20 years ago when we started this, and she considered it, and she decided to go her own way. She has her home, I think it's at least two counties north of where I am, and it's a nice place. And she's a professional woman with a career that she loves her career and what she does. And she asked me once, well, John, will I be safe here? And my response was, how long can you stay awake? That's how long you'll be safe. She got this deer in the headlights stare about her, and she knew what I was saying was true. She'll be safe as long as she can stay awake. After that, she won't be safe. I say the same thing to a married couple, man and a wife with their safe haven out in the woods someplace. John, how long will we be safe? My response will be, how long can you stay awake? That's my reality. It's a tough reality. But I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, as they say. Sleep deprivation will make you into a very strange person very quickly. By the third day of no sleep, you will become a very strange person, even to yourself. You will see things moving that aren't moving. You will hear things that nobody else hears. You'll be hypersensitive to everything. That's among the things sleep deprivation does to you. You don't want to go there. You really don't. We got a break. Call number is 800-313-9443.
Public Broadcasting Network depends on listener support of our advertisers and of our sponsors. We'd like to especially thank all of you who have taken advantage of our fundraiser with FrontSite Bonus. Those who are now FrontSite members, please train as soon as possible for your sake and for that of our nation. And please consider sharing your training and what you've learned when you arrive home. Republic Broadcasting Network has to stop promoting this fundraiser on air and on the website in just a few days. Dr. Ignatius Piazza, president of FrontSite, made a gracious exception to his no media rule for us at Republic Broadcasting Network. Thank you, Dr. Piazza. And once you've been to FrontSite, feel free to call your favorite host and share your experience on the air. We can continue this fundraiser without media help, but it'll be totally up to the listeners to spread the information. Please call Dan Sutterfield in Missouri at 573-465-2356, 573-465-2356. That's 573-465-2356.
As a listener of RBN, you're surely concerned about being informed and being ready for whatever may come. Please consider the following questionnaire as a soul-jarring wake-up call. If you answer no to more than two of these following questions, you probably aren't going to make it through any major disruption in our country. The questions were compiled by people that have been there. Are you really ready? Do you own your own firearm for the primary defense and protection of you and your loved ones? Have you ever been professionally trained to stand against life-threatening behavior? Have you ever practiced enough to fire 500 rounds during a 2 to 4 day time frame, day and night? Can you load, unload, fire, and clear a jam in total darkness? Have all the adults in your household been professionally trained? Are you, life and death, comfortable with your abilities with pistol, revolver, shotgun, and rifle? Are you aware that everything that you do to prepare for an emergency is a waste of time, money, and energy? If you haven't honed your abilities to their highest level to protect and keep what you have, do you have the repair parts that will most likely be needed for each of your firearm, and do you have the ability to install those parts? Could you completely clean every firearm you own? Are you aware that your body won't go where your mind hasn't been? In other words, without proper training, followed by regular practice, you probably will not win a gunfight. Well, how did you measure up? Take the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to start correcting your deficiencies by receiving your Commander Lifetime Membership with Front Sight Firearms Training Facility. A one-time donation to RBN for $500 will give you a Commander Lifetime Membership at Front Sight as a tremendously huge thank you bonus. See details on RBN's webpage to make it happen. The clock is ticking. You had better be ready before it happens.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. J.R. Moore here on Tuesday, the 17th of September. During the Vietnam War, the American soldiers were given the opportunity for rest and recuperation, R&R. The married guys, they would meet their wives in Hawaii to spend that time with their wife. The single guys had their opportunities to go other places on their R&R in Southeast Asia. Away from the combat zone. It gave the guys something to look forward to. It gave them a break. They could be in the mud and the filth of Vietnam one day and in a luxury hotel the next with air conditioning, hot and cold running water, clean sheets, and of course their significant other. We have an R&R coming up for all of our listeners, the John Moore Patriot Symposium Cruise. Royal Caribbean's Harmony of the Seas. This is a massive ship. There's 20 restaurants. I had no idea. Our cruise director, Betsy Murphy, sent me this flyer with some of the details. 20 restaurants on this ship. Amazing. Leon Green will be there. We'll have a group of like-minded people. Sam Andrews and his lovely wife may be there. We don't know yet. It's too early for her to get her schedule yet. But if he comes, of course, he'll be part of the group. We leave Port Canaveral in Florida the 9th day of February at 4:30 in the afternoon. Our first stop is St. Martin. Our next stop is San Juan, Puerto Rico. Valentine's Day we'll be at sea. Then we'll be at a private resort owned by called Coco Cay, owned by Royal Caribbean, on the 15th, and we get back in Orlando the morning of the 16th. It will be fun. It will be romantic if you choose it to be. It will be educational if you choose it to be. It will be all those things. Details at my website at thelibertyman.com. If you don't have internet access, give Betsy Murphy a call. Her telephone number is 636-530-9502. She'll send you a nice full-color brochure. Her number is 636-530-9502. Talking about the possibility of civil war in this country. Not a fun topic. There is an old saying, I don't know how old it is, but civil war isn't. Civil war isn't, which means civil war is not civil. There's nothing civil about civil war. It's brutal. It's barbaric. Primitive. If you read what's been going on in some of these civil wars in other countries, like what went on in Bosnia a few years ago, it was absolutely brutal and barbaric. Where do you begin? Well, if you've convinced yourself this is a possibility, it's not up to me to convince you. It's up to you to convince yourself. What do you do next? What can you do in 13 months? There's a hobby farm for sale, by the way, at my website. We just got a friend of mine. He's in my zip code right up the road from my place. It's a turnkey hobby farm. The work is done. When that cashier's check crosses the table at the real estate closing office, you've got a hobby farm ready to go. All you need to do is move your stuff in and make use of a fully functioning hobby farm. Otherwise, you're looking at a good 3 years just to take raw dirt and turn raw dirt into a hobby farm that's actually feeding people. So it's not. You're not going to start a hobby farm from scratch in 13 months. That's not going to happen. I mean, you can start one, but it won't be functioning. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Of course, you could start a hobby farm in 13 months, but it's not going to be functioning in 13 months. You need a safe haven. You need a safe haven. It could be the beginning of a hobby farm. You want to be away from a city, a good distance from a city. 50 miles would be, I would say, regard as minimal. Place with all the potable water you need, with neighbors who are somewhat self-sufficient. You do not want to be in a gated community, for example. Most gated communities have people that are not self-sufficient. Out where I am, people tend to be self-sufficient. I would say about half the families have some kind of a garden. Many of the adults out here go hunting and fishing as their primary recreation. It's a pretty self-sufficient community from that regard. You want skills. The skills I talk about all the time remain unchanged. First aid CPR skills and ham radio skills. And it's true because I keep saying it because it's true. Whether your group is 6 people or 600 people, those are the 2 skill sets, first aid CPR and ham radio, that'll be in the biggest demand and shortest supply. Our little community nearby me here, it's Viburnum, Missouri. Viburnum is a flowering tree, by the way. Viburnum, Missouri, population, I think, around 650. Same thing applies there. Great men and women with dozens and dozens of valuable skill sets. It doesn't change that reality. Here's our break.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Moore here. We have a special promotion going on at Republic Broadcasting. This is a fundraiser for Republic Broadcasting involving the energy cleaner. Mail me a postcard. My address is at my website at thelibertyman.com. We pick a postcard every other Thursday. When your postcard is drawn out, you get to buy an energy cleaner for $215 instead of $285, $70 discount. $200 goes to Republic Broadcasting. You also get a 10% discount on my mattress pads. So get those postcards in, put your name, your telephone number, your email address on there, and when your postcard is drawn, you get to get an energy cleaner for $215 instead of $285. Mattress pads, 10% off. Help us out at Republic Broadcasting and help yourself to get an energy cleaner at a deep discount. It's a win-win situation for everybody. We hope you can get these postcards in soon. Thank you very much. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. J.R. Moore here on Tuesday. It's Tuesday, the 17th day of September. My website is thelibertyman.com. That's thelibertyman.com. Part of preparedness, of course, is your physical well-being, your health, your ability to do things physically, which involves aerobic strength and anaerobic strength. And, of course, part of that involves the energy cleaner. I use my energy cleaner every night. I'm sitting on an energy cleaner pad right now as I speak, doing this radio show. When I travel more than 2 hours in a motor vehicle, I have the energy cleaner pad on the seat of the vehicle. It's part of an overall healthy lifestyle. No, it's not the silver bullet. It's part of an overall healthy lifestyle. Proper nutrition, a good moderate level of exercise, clean, healthy water, a positive mental attitude, the energy cleaner. They all work together. Energy cleaner helps you accomplish your goals. It helps me accomplish my goals. The details at my website at thelibertyman.com. You can place your order there for the energy cleaner, the mattress pads to go with it, using PayPal. The reason PayPal is so secure is you're not giving up any credit card information when you use PayPal. That's why PayPal is so secure. It is the most secure way to make any online purchase. You can call my toll-free hour line 24 hours a day. Also, here it is, 800-592-9543. I say again, 800-592-9543. Call number is 800-313-9443. We got a call here. We got Elizabeth in New York. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, John. I know what you're saying about the Civil War. It's more a reality than most people know. But the sad part of it is even some of the people who do have some belief in it and are preparing are now fighting amongst themselves. And with all this division between the people who are the patriots turning against one another, that's going to further make the problem even worse.
I'm not aware of that, Elizabeth. Can you give us one example about maintaining anonymity for the individuals?
There were state-by-state groups that were formed on the internet, and it's about people being, I don't know,
okay,
I'm looking for the right word.
Okay, you're talking about, if I can get some clarification here, groups of men and women who are interested in preparedness that are bickering on the internet back and forth. Is that accurate?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, and it's so
that's
sad.
Okay.
And it's
that's expected. That's expected. That's okay.
I know.
I would just say don't pay attention to it. They just don't get involved. If people want to bicker and be childish, let them do that. And what I'm talking about is at the very local level. Families working together, neighbors working together, church groups working together. That kind of bickering back and forth serves no purpose, and anybody who participates in it is just wasting time.
I know. It just further delays the goal of becoming a united, strong nation.
Well, you're right. If people choose to participate in it, it's a waste of time. But that's their choice. I think most mature adults should figure that out pretty quickly, that they're wasting time. And time is very valuable. And that time could be better spent doing something else that would help themselves and their family rather than bickering back and forth on the internet. Anything else in your mind there, Elizabeth?
Well, I am concerned about a lot of what you and Stephen and everyone and has been talking about, this invasion with these foreign entities and everything. That's a lot more real, and I think right now they're probably asleep. But when they get woken up in this country, we are going to see a lot of conflict, and a lot of us aren't going to be safe because some of us don't have groups or sometimes even family or children that are supportive, and it's not going to be easy.
It won't be, and my heart goes out to the people that find themselves in that position, and with 13 months, I would think that would be enough time to find, hopefully, more people that a person could be affiliated with and develop an alliance with to get through this as a smaller group as opposed to being a lone wolf. Being a lone wolf will not be fun during this events.
Yeah, and then to compound everything else, John, we've got entities within the USGS and everything that are hiding data, not telling people the truth. They're going to know what hit. It's going to be several things. It's not going to just be civil war. It's going to be contending with earthquakes, volcanic activity.
Right.
It's going to
right.
be
Well,
unlike anything anyone has ever seen in this nation.
right. Those employees are doing
Because
what
right now
ordered to
they're
do.
scrubbing a lot of the data. They don't want people to know the truth.
Right. That's coming from the highest levels. And that's to maintain people's being unaware. These people doing this are doing it because they're ordered to do it, and they don't really care one way or the other, most of them. But the volcanism and earthquakes, of course, are becoming more frequent and more severe, as I've been writing about and talking about for quite a few years. That will continue to be a big issue, won't it, Elizabeth?
Yeah, that and the food shortages too, John. I did a poll on Facebook, and it appears to be more than just in my area. It's pretty much statewide, worldwide.
Okay.
But
and
the media is trying to avoid the focus on that also.
Right. Well, there's been scattered reports of empty shelves, food shelves at the various Walmarts, and is that what your poll involved, was empty shelves at supermarkets?
Yeah, but I think that it's more than in just the Walmarts. But
Okay,
I think it's more noticeable there because a lot of people do frequent
I
there
understand that. Well,
because of
continue
the
your
lower
inquiries.
prices.
Continue your inquiries and let us know what you're finding out, if you would, please.
Sure, I'd be happy to, John.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else, my dear?
Not that I can think of, other than we need to get you out there. We need to get you out there speaking, because people don't want to believe it coming from just a regular off-the-street person. They want to hear it from a professional who has factual evidence, who has scientific evidence.
Do you know a good
website there
marketing
at
person that can help? Do you know a good
thelibertyman.net,
marketing, Elizabeth? Do you know a good marketing person that can help me do that?
Well,
that's okay. It's a trick question.
I'm hoping.
Just keep at it.
The sad part
Elizabeth,
is a lot of these people want people to talk for free, John.
I know. Just keep at it. You're doing an excellent job, my dear.
All we can do is keep trying. I mean, what else? What more can you do? I can't.
Can't make things. You
I'm
can't
hoping
make things
that once
happen.
things
just keep
start
at
happening,
it. That's all I
that
can
things
say.
will pick up.
Just keep at it, my dear. Okay.
All right.
Okay. That it for right now?
Yes, John.
Okay. Well, thank you. We'll talk privately soon, I'm sure. That's Elizabeth in New York. She is helping me with marketing and doing an excellent job, and I want to thank her for her efforts publicly. It's a difficult job, and what she's running into is groups want speakers to speak for free, which of course they do, but I don't speak for free. Obviously, I speak for free at my radio show meetup and so forth, but that's what she does. She's up there in New York doing marketing for me. 13 months will fly by. It will make your head spin how fast 13 months will pass. It will. In less than 2 weeks, I'll be saying 12 months. Yeah, this is coming fast. November 2020 will be here so fast it will make your head spin. I need to keep emphasizing that, because it's just easy to forget how quickly time passes and what it takes to accomplish certain goals. Establishing a safe haven is a really big deal for most people most of the time in terms of time and money. We don't have much time, and money can help make things happen, no doubt. It's not an absolute necessity. If you don't have money, you need to be creative about how to accomplish that goal. And the sooner you start, the better off your team's going to be. That's my reality. I've been at this a long time. I did my first paid consultation as a preparedness consultant the summer of 1977, 42 years ago. It's a long time ago. I've been at this a really long time. So I have a better idea than most what it really takes. I'm working with my neighbors. I'm supposed to be meeting with one of my neighbors here soon. He's going to show me around what he's done. He's a cattle rancher. He's quite proud of what he's done. I know it's not enough, but he's quite proud of what he's accomplished, and I have no doubt he's accomplished a lot. And I regard it as a good start. And I'll be pointing out the areas that need improvement in a gentle, polite manner, letting him know, congratulating him on what he's done, and then making sure that the empty spots is something really basic. He plans on having 20 or 30 people there. I'm going to say, how's the laundry going to be done for these 30 people? How's that going to happen? He'll look at me with a blank stare, and I'll tell him how to get the laundry done for 30 people, so it doesn't take up one full day a week of a lot of people efforts, men, women, and children doing laundry one full day a week, which is within living memory. That's how most families lived most of the time. And once you leave this country and go to third world countries, that's still how people live. One full day a week doing nothing but laundry. Needs to be done. No getting around it. Well, here's what you do. You get Maytag wringer washers. And there's YouTube videos to give you detailed instructions on how to make a bicycle run a Maytag wringer washer. Simple hand tools. There's tens of thousands of men in this country who have home workshops with the tools and skills to convert a Maytag wringer washer to run on a bicycle. It'll run great. You give the youngsters something to do, maybe the adults if they need a little exercise. Get that agitator going back and forth. That's a big step up from doing laundry by hand. It's a massive step up from doing laundry by hand. That's just one example. How do you keep your food preserved when there's no electricity or just minimal amounts, not enough to run a freezer? How do you keep the food preserved? Well, food preservation is a complex topic I don't have time to address here, but there, men and women have lived on this planet tens of thousands of years without refrigerated food. Of course it can be done. My grandparents, they had ice delivered to their home for the ice box. Grandparents of both, well, actually, it was grandparents in the city. The grandparents in the country, they did not have ice delivered to the home. They had a root cellar. When you're in the remote part of the Ozark Mountains in the 1920s and 30s, there's no ice delivered to the home. That simply was not going to happen. It was not even a possibility. But they preserved food. They used salt for the meat. They had root cellars, spring houses, so forth. They managed to keep the food preserved in good condition, ready for consumption later. Most people who live that way are no longer with us. There's still some. They're in their 80s and 90s now. Most of those people are gone. But that knowledge still exists. There's still people who know how to do that. Especially in my neighborhood, there's still ranches and farms where all the infrastructure is still in place. The root cellars, the spring houses, and so forth. They may need a little fixing up, but they're still there. The root cellar may need a new door on it. Typically, they were poured concrete with a wood door that rotted away. May need to be cleaned up inside, but the hard work's done. It's building the darn thing. Here's what I tell people when I'm visiting with my friend and reviewing what he's done. I'm going to say, 99% of our time during Civil War out here where we are, in our zip code, is going to be routine matters of child care, taking care of the gardens animal husbandry, carpenter work, plumbing work, electrical work, mechanical work, 99% of our time, more like 99.5% of our time, will be taken up with these routine matters. And that 0.5% will be dealing with criminals who want to cause harm to what we have here. It's not a reality show. It's not a movie. That's my reality, though. That's what we'll be doing. Routine stuff, most of the time, almost all the time. The odds of the Civil War getting this far out are slim to none, unless it goes on for a really long time. Enemy troops involved, yeah, we'll be involved in it at some point. Remote areas like this will be a very low priority. We're going to focus on critical infrastructure, airports, the inland waterways, the railroads, the interstate highways, the big cities, power generating plants, water treatment plants. Critical infrastructure is what they'll be focused on. We got a break. We'll be right back. On Tuesday, the 17th of September. We got a caller on hold here. He's taking a break from feeding his goats. That's Jerry in Texas. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, John. That first hour went in a hurry. I didn't realize it as late as it was. I'm sure you're aware of it, but some of the listeners may not be. There is a volume of books out there. I always get it mixed up. Is it Firefox?
Foxfire.
It's Foxfire. Okay, I told you I get it mixed up. But there is a wealth of information in there that and everybody needs to read the introductory in the first volume. What is it? 18 volumes, something like that, and they're huge. But I suggest we don't have them all. I went through and was selective on the different volumes that we got. But if there are people who are not aware of that, I suggest that they go and look at those because it's the old-time how to do it like Jim Foote used to do it handbook. And these are personal accounts of how they lived BE, and that's before electricity. Right. And some people in the Ozarks are, probably Ozarks, but then Blue Ridge Mountains and Appalachias probably still live like that today. But anyway, I just want to throw that little tidbit of information out to folks that may not be aware of it. Thanks for taking the call, John.
Okay, Jerry, thank you. We appreciate it. We won't take any more calls this hour. We've got Leon Green coming up here at the top of the hour. Every preparedness group should have a library, a large library, all kinds of genres, heavy on medical, heavy on communications, agriculture, gardening, animal husbandry, books on plumbing, carpentry, mechanical work, electrical work, many books, and of course books for entertainment also, books to help educate youngsters, the classics. A good book to have would be Webster's Unabridged Dictionary, a very valuable basic tool for any library. A large library which should be well organized and maintained. A person should be in charge of maintaining that library. The library here at my group is pretty much in disarray. My goal is to have it organized using the Dewey Decimal System. That's what I know works, what I'm used to. And just work on it. Build that library. Go to thrift stores, yard sales, wherever you got to go to find books that will be valuable for your library, for your group. That's not optional. It really isn't. It's not optional at all. So be sure to include that. Here's our break. We'll be back after the break with Leon Green. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. J.R. Moore here on Tuesday, the 17th of September. Prepper tip of the day. I want to encourage all of you to make sure you have a leather and canvas repair kit. Leather and canvas repair kit is something that is necessary around any homestead, farm, ranch, hobby farm, a canvas and leather repair kit. And, of course, the knowledge to know how to use all the tools that are in a canvas and leather repair kit. You'll be very glad you have that. It will be a necessary thing. We have patient waiting agreement with my friend Leon Green. Leon is a gentleman who began a quest more than a decade ago to understand, comprehend, eventually become quite knowledgeable in all the wonderful, marvelous ways that incorporating doTERRA essential oils into your daily life can help you achieve your goals, whatever those goals may be. It may be having a cleaner, nice-smelling home, maybe doing laundry more efficiently, cooking with the best, highest quality oils that money can buy, and, of course, health-related matters, which is primarily what we talk about. Good morning, Leon.
Good morning, John. How are you doing, sir?
Really good. Well, Leon, you just finished, I believe it's over, the doTERRA annual convention, and you're all pumped up and full of vinegar, aren't you?
Vinegar is a good description.
Well, how many people attended this convention, sir? Approximately.
32,000 people.
Whoa, baby. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's the largest one in Utah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, they introduced new oils. How many new oils did they introduce this year?
A total of 11 new products, actually.
Really? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's a lot. So there's some new oils and some other new products as well, because they have other product lines. Skincare, I know, and various dietary supplements. Well, doTERRA continues to amaze me in their ability to be creative, find new oils to bring to the table so people have more choices. It's not easy. It's a very competitive market, and it's not easy to find oils to be sourced from trusted organic sources. That's not easy, is it, Leon?
Absolutely. And you'll hear many companies say, oh, we're just like doTERRA. We use their same sources. And now, because of the impact we've had in the industry, actually over 95% of all of our sources are exclusive to doTERRA, because we are consistently paying. We pay them. Whereas, Ethiopia, there have been people in the frankincense trade and throughout the world which they've never been paid. They do all this work, the farmers. Or they may be instead of getting paid $100 for all their work for a whole year, they get paid $6. So, those companies who try to just say, hey, we're just like doTERRA, we are the most tested oil company and the most trusted in the world. So, yes, there is a huge difference. And it makes a big difference on, that you take care of the farmers, because they're the ones who produce it. And, in Haiti, after the earthquake, or actually before the earthquake, we were producing water for the communities who don't have water at all. And, the girls at age 12 would have to stop going to school because they would have to now carry water up the hill 2 miles to the family. So there's a huge difference between what doTERRA does. And we have people that live on site with them. So it's not like it's okay, we're going to come here, see you next year, next season. No, they because we know the quality that we expect and demand. And if they don't meet it, they cut it. And so there's a big difference between doTERRA and others.
Well, here's a little factoid you remind me of. This morning, the 17th day of September 2019, the human activity that consumes the most hours of human beings on this planet this morning, September 17th, 2019, is carrying water and carrying firewood. That consumes more human hours of activity than anything else on the planet, Leon. People may find that hard to believe, but as I frequently tell people, most of the 7 billion people on this planet will never see a flush toilet in their life. They won't.
Yes.
And that's reality. People living in this country who are living on government assistance, receiving subsidized housing, EBT cards, and so forth, almost all of them have a home with electricity, air conditioning, cable TV, and a functioning automobile. That's better living standards than mid-level management in most third world countries. So that's our situation. Despite having all the amenities that we have, many of these third world countries where people don't have flush toilets have a longevity longer than us in this country. So something's really broken here. And your job and my job is to help people recognize what's broken and mitigate for themselves. We can't change the world. We got maybe 10 to 15,000 people listening to us this morning, Leon, you and I. So we can reach out to those 12, 15,000 people and help them understand what's broken and how to fix it. What's broken is consumption of the wrong things and not consuming the things that are proper and correct. Is that right, Leon?
Absolutely. And they had a panel, a doctor's panel, that talked about the history of how, the diet has affected Americans and what and the Western civilizations, and how the top three have still been the same, but now diabetes is rapidly going to overtake them. So cardiovascular, ischemic shock or ischemic damage in the heart, that's number one. Cancer is number two, and fourth or third is lower respiratory. Those are the three main killers here in America. And so they described that, but they also said that, this is the first generation in history, in U.S. history, that is actually going to live, in recent U.S. history, that is going to live shorter than the previous generation. And that the last time that was eclipsed was back in 1916 to 1918. And do you know why that generation died?
Spanish
yes,
flu.
Sir. Once I saw the time frame on that, I was telling people around her, and then she described it. And yes, between 25 and 50 million people died from Spanish flu worldwide. So yes, it has a huge impact on your health style and your mindset and your ability to adapt and adapt even your diet, because when things change, if you do not adapt, you will be overtaken by the by health and mistakes made.
Right. Well, our local preparedness group, we have this is our 4th year of monthly training and different training each of the 12 months. One of those months is the recognition, gathering, preparation of wild edibles and herbs. And I'll tell you, Leon, the first salad you eat that's gathered in the wild, it will probably be bitter. It will probably be unusual and not as tasty as you're used to, but it's full of nutrition, vitamins, minerals, the things we need, even protein. But these unfamiliar foods it's a tough transition to go to that, and you may find yourself with some kind of digestive distress, couldn't you? And that's where the oils come in once again, don't they?
Absolutely, and your diet will definitely impact constipation or even diarrhea for that matter. So yes, if all you're having is, if you're even eating salad now as it is, iceberg lettuce, and that's the vast majority of it. There's pretty much, I just call that, when I talk to my children, it's just hard green water, because there's not much nutritional value.
It's empty. It's empty. Yeah, empty. Empty food. There's nothing. Iceberg lettuce, it has almost no nutritional value at all.
Yes, sir. And so when you think about those the greens that are important, mustard, chicory, and dandelion, and purslane. Yeah, it's gonna taste different. A lot of them are high in alkaloids, so they're very good for the body, because the more alkaline your system is, the less likely cancer can propagate in your body. And so with our beer and drinks and sugar and coffee, the more acidic the system is, the more meat that becomes more acidic, and that allows cancer to thrive. And so, if you can gain anything, talk to your doctor, or you can research this and verify this. But the more alkaline your body is, the less likely cancer can grow. And 1 in 2 men in America will die, 1 in 2 men in America will be impacted by cancer, and 1 in 3 women will have it. So there's a big difference in diet. It really impacts the proclivity for you to have cancer. So it's crucial.
It is crucial. It's not optional. It really is not optional. I refer to cancer as a modern plague, but a heart disease actually kills more people. It's just not as visible because people don't linger for months and months, or even a year and a half, like my wife did with cancer, with heart disease. They're basically just gone with no lingering suffering. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, what Leon and I are talking about can and should help pretty much everybody listening. We hear these facts. We watch our friends and relatives die early and needlessly because of decisions they make, decisions to eat certain things and not eat other things, to participate in allopathic medicine, which is now called traditional medicine, which is not traditional medicine, it's actually homeopathic, but that got changed upside down. And what we bring to the table is knowledge. The knowledge contained in 2 books, especially. The book is titled Modern Essentials. You're going to want the 5th edition. The 11th edition is now published and ready for distribution. Between those 2 books, you'll have the basic knowledge you need to understand what oils can do for you, which oils you need, how to use those oils, incorporate them into your daily life. Correct, Leon?
Absolutely. And you don't have to go to the conferences to learn all this information. The books are awesome, that you will be able to access them, just like you were talking about in the last hour. The importance of having the libraries, and I heard some man talk about Foxfire or Firefox library. And so by having those at your disposal, you will know and have an immediate source. And yes, and I don't have the Dewey Decimal System set up in my library, but I just thought about that. I'm going to print it up, and so I can at least now have it organized so that we can find those things. Because right now it's just pretty much all the medical in one area, and the food and animal husbandry is in another. But it'd be easier to have it in the decimal system when you start to get to the hundreds and possibly thousands of books, to make it easier for people to write.
Yeah, I don't know how many volumes are in our library here. It has to be 700 to 1,000. I don't know. The majority of them are in boxes right now because we move things around and they had to be put someplace. My wife's library alone is a good 200 plus books, and I'm working on getting some shelving up and getting those organized. But in the absence of organization, you can really spend a lot of time looking for a book, can't you?
Yes, sir. And many times I bought duplicates of books because I couldn't find it when I needed it. So, it's better to have. Yeah. And so if you have the Modern Essentials book, it will help drastically because, you know what the issue is. And even if you don't know the exact diagnosis, if you know it's part of the digestive system, then you can ask the questions, and if it's yourself, you know what the symptoms are. Is it diarrhea? Is it constipation? Which side of the body is on. So that the book will help you drastically. And, there are certain oils that are phenomenal for the digestive system versus, the respiratory system and then the cardiovascular. And so it makes it really simple. So you don't have to be a subject matter expert in this field to be able to help people and animals adapt and overcome to these issues that they're dealing with. And so, we're not talking about doing open heart surgery. We're just saying, okay, your daughter now has extreme constipation, and what are the oils that you can naturally break this up? And short of having a ruptured intestine or the intestines being strangulated.
Constipation can kill you. Constipation can kill you. Absolutely, it can.
Yes, sir. And so, by having the oils and having the knowledge and having the books available, you can make a huge difference, especially in the preparedness capacity. Because and it doesn't even have to wait till everything goes south. If you are on a trip and somebody gets sick, there are many people who've had to cancel trips. That's why they sell flight or medical insurance and trip insurance, because so many people travel internationally. They get sick, and their family's scared about going to a hospital in Calcutta or in Buenos Aires or in Paris, and they say, "I'm going to fly home." And so, unless it's a traumatic one where they need surgery immediately to keep the person alive, they will cancel trips. So something as simple as constipation or diarrhea can impact, many people that have, saved up years and time and money for these trips, and now that's all wasted. So it's pretty simple how to apply it. And, and I always tell people, try it. And if you don't see the success you're expecting within a matter of 2 or 3 days, then if you want to go to the doctor and get cut and, have injections and do that and go with the pharmaceutical route, you can. But give it a try. And then for preparedness, it makes a lot more sense.
Now, almost without a doubt, you will have a collection of oils with you when we go on our cruise in February, won't you?
Absolutely. And so, it'll pretty much be the Home Essentials kit, and I will definitely take helichrysum with me. And so, by having these oils, we'll be able to address probably 85% of all the issues. And of course, the Royal Caribbean has a first-class, clinic. But
of course,
Tony's and Bobby.
Well, yeah, the ship has 20 restaurants. I would be shocked if they didn't have a world-class emergency room. Of course, they do.
Yes, sir. And so, I don't. If I end up visiting it, it's going to be because one of the other customers or the passengers or the people on board in our group have an issue, and they're like, "Hey, I can go to this right now, but I want to attend the class."
Hold that thought, man. Hold that thought. We got a break. Call number is 800-313-9443.
Folks, we're living in a world the likes of which we've never perceived any clearer than we do now. The plan for global governance has been in the works for generations and would have likely been achieved by now but for the fact that the globalists left open their Achilles heel. With all their tools, Federal Reserve System, fiat currency, no child left behind, and then Common Core education introduced to our schools to dumb us down, vaccines, pharmaceuticals to lobotomize us, GMO foods, insertion of compromised or bought and paid for politicians, judges, mainstream media propaganda, all pieced together like a puzzle designed to ultimately bring the world under submission. But with all their strategy, they forgot one thing: knowledge. And knowledge is power. With knowledge, their bombardment is nullified. Folks, with that, as brilliant and knowledgeable as you've become, among the wisest audience of any radio audience in the world, and you are, I want you to take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, how much of that knowledge did I obtain from Republic Broadcasting Network? How high has my consciousness been raised since I've been a listener? How fast am I now able to discriminate truth from fake news by being a Republic Broadcasting listener? How clear am I now able to see the world since I've been listening to RBN? Ask yourselves those questions, folks. Then ask yourself, what is that knowledge worth to me? Like my morning coffee, how would I survive without it? A voice of truth in a sea of lies. Do we not all need to make sure it survives? Like public broadcasting, we are now finding we can only survive with listener support. Censorship, advertisers being attacked, truth itself being attacked. It's the only way through this. We at Republic Broadcasting humbly ask you to become a supporter. Look at your budget and make a determination of what Republic Broadcasting is worth to you and what you can afford on a monthly basis. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and pledge $20, $30, $40, $50, if possible, $100 a month or more if it's affordable. Click the donate button and become a regular monthly donor. Assure both us and yourself that Republic Broadcasting Truth will continue to flow like that morning coffee. The network thanks you.
It's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We here at RBN are working with Front Sight Firearms Training Institute to bring our audience the best in combat, tactical, and defensive firearms training. Whether you're a private citizen who is new to firearms, or you have a concealed weapon permit and want a level of training that surpasses what you've received from your local gun range, Front Sight provides priceless education and skills taught by seasoned law enforcement, military, and private citizen instructors to levels that far exceed law enforcement and military standard. With nearly 1 million responsible citizens trained from every town, city, and state from across the United States, Front Sight has bolstered the Patriot movement to a whole new level. Contact Dan Sutterfield by phone at 573-762-2356 or 573-465-2356 or shoot him an email at domedan, DOMEDAN, at hotmail.com. This is a limited time opportunity. Don't miss it.
Let's go back here on Tuesday, the 17th of September. R&R, for the John Moore Radio Show listeners, R&R, we're going on a cruise that will be February 9th, leaving Port Canaveral in Florida, not far from Orlando, coming back a week later, the 16th. It will be fun. It will be educational. It will be informative. Leon Green will be there. Of course, I'll be there. It's my cruise. We've got 20 restaurants on this ship. Valentine's Day happens right in the middle of the cruise. So get the details there at my website. You can sign up there. You can call our cruise director for more information. Or if you want her to mail you a brochure, if you don't have internet access, our cruise director will do that also. But you'll need to talk to Betsy Murphy to get signed up. She's our cruise director. Betsy's telephone number is 636-530-9502. I say again, 636-530-9502. Well, Leon, if people choose to, if they have a bubbly, outgoing, energetic personality like you do, and would like to turn this into a part-time business, all they got to do is give Leon Green a call, and you'll guide them on how to make that happen, won't you, sir?
Absolutely, and it is very simple in that we share the oils with people who, want to change and improve their lives, and so it's also very informative in the fact that you will learn a lot about yourself and anatomy and all the other physiology and botany pertaining to the plants. So there's a lot to learn, and if you are open, just like all the other learning, whether you're learning how to do ham radio and tactics, night vision, and animal husbandry, or fixing your Maytag ring or washer, all these skills can definitely benefit you now as well as in the future. So it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy helping and assisting others get healthier.
Absolutely. Well, how would people contact you, Leon? What's the best way?
Yes, sir. It's 303-495-2188. And that's Mountain Time.
303-495-2188. Mountain Time, if Leon doesn't answer because he's off doing something fun, adventure training that I'm jealous of, leave him a message. Well, Leon, I got something. I ordered 200 feet of state-of-the-art climbing rope, and I expect to take delivery later this week. I got an education from Sam Andrews over the weekend about modern climbing rope. The way it's made does not absorb water, which has always been an issue for forever, it seemed like. So I'm looking forward to taking delivery of that. And once Sam has his tower built over 100 feet tall, then I can use my own climbing rope to rappel down the 100-foot tower and do some climbing also, all on video, and I'll have the video posted on my website so people can see John Moore rappelling down a 100-foot tower with weapons and a backpack and all the fun stuff that us soldiers do. the video will be taken by drones and cameras on the ground also, is what I've been told. Everything Sam does is first class, and of course, my ability to do this is largely responsible to what we're talking about: proper nutrition, clean, healthy drinking water, incorporating the oils into my life, getting a reasonable amount of exercise. Leanna, my current schedule, when I wake up, I get up, because of my protocols, I'm now getting up about 4:45 a.m. I do my stretching, which is, even if I'm not feeling good, I still do my stretching. All the stretching I started doing as a high school athlete, basically not much different. Then I do 300 crunches and 100 push-ups and a little more stretching, and I'm done. And that entire little bit of routine is about 12, 14 minutes or so. It doesn't take long, but it's a good way to start the day, isn't it, sir?
Absolutely. And the more high-level athletes I speak with, regardless of the age, I find that they start their day off exercising, stretching, and very similar to yoga, without the Eastern mentality. But they're out there, just like when you see a dog or your pet gets up, and what's the first thing they do? They're moving their body, and so it's not.
First thing they do.
Same thing that horses and other animals that have been sleeping, they first thing they do. So, we are in the animal kingdom on this planet when it comes to plants versus animals. So, why shouldn't we do the same? And so it's pretty expected, but most people just get off and they dash, and you'll hear them hearing of them tearing muscle joints and ligaments because they don't do that. They don't get the blood flow going. So it is important for them.
It is, and it doesn't cost anything. I have on the living room floor, I got about a 6 by 8 foot carpet that I do my routine on, and that's all it takes. It doesn't take any special clothing, any special equipment, just a clean, dry, comfortable place to lay down and do the crunches and then do the push-ups and so forth. Here's our break. We'll be right back.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, J.R. Moore here. We have a special promotion going on at Republic Broadcasting. This is a fundraiser for Republic Broadcasting involving the Energy Cleaner. Mail me a postcard. My address is at my website at thelibertyman.com. We pick a postcard every other Thursday. When your postcard is drawn out, you get to buy an energy cleaner for $215 instead of $285, $70 discount. $200 goes to Republic Broadcasting. You also get a 10% discount on my mattress pads. So get those postcards in, put your name, your telephone number, your email address on there, and when your postcard is drawn, you get to get an energy cleaner for $215 instead of $285. Mattress pads, 10% off. Help us out at Republic Broadcasting and help yourself to get an energy cleaner at a deep discount. It's a win-win situation for everybody. We hope you can get these postcards in soon. Thank you very much. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. J.R. Moore here on Tuesday, the 17th of September. When I asked Tim Spencer to put together a page for the energy cleaner, I didn't tell him to write this down, but this is what he wrote. I was just thinking about this morning. And when you go to the energy cleaner section of my website at thelibertyman.com, learn, evaluate, and live again. Learn, evaluate, and live again. Tim Spencer got an energy cleaner from me September 2010. He was already visiting the General John Pershing VA Center in Poplar Bluff to become a resident there. He did not want to be a burden on his family. He was basically semi-invalid at that point in time. That's how bad he was. Continuous pain. It hurt to stand up. It hurt to sit down. It hurt to go down. Going upstairs was difficult. Coming down the steps was almost impossible. He had a 2-story home. He started using the energy cleaner. Within a few days, 3 days, he started feeling results. He went public with me beginning in 2 to 3 weeks after starting using it. And all of our listeners followed him week by week as he reported his progress over the next year, going from being semi-invalid to where the following summer he was climbing a radio tower and riding his horses again. No longer semi-invalid. That's Tim Spencer. That's the energy cleaner. The energy cleaner will help you. Almost all American adults, almost all the time, have issues with sleep, have issues with pain. That's what we focus on. Check out the details at my website. You can place your order there using PayPal, MasterCard, Visa. Don't forget to get the mattress pad to go with it. Don't become a cheapskate and think you can get by making one your own. You'll regret that. You want to get one of my factory-made customized pads. I just took delivery of 26 pads yesterday. If you want to place an order on the telephone, call my toll-free order line. Here it is, 800-592-9543. I say again, 800-592-9543. Visiting with Leon Green, we're talking about doTERRA essential oils and how you can incorporate them in your life to have the fun, full, happy, healthy, productive life that we all want to have, that fewer and fewer Americans are having. We now have, for the first time in a century, slightly more than a century, a generation of men and women who will not live as long as their parents. We have a population whose longevity is shorter than more than 30 countries, many of them being third world countries, by the way. Now, the doTERRA oils is not the silver bullet. The energy cleaner is not the silver bullet. All these things combine to help you achieve your goal. Right, Leon?
Absolutely. You're talking about Tim Spencer and pain. One of the oils that is called turmeric, and that is phenomenal. And this product, this is unique. We had turmeric oil before, but one thing that's never been done in the history of the world is they were able to use both the curcuminoids and the turmerones. So the oil, came from the first part, and then the turmerones, which are highly anti-inflammatory, and they are very effective in being anti-cancerous. They have now a dual capsule that allows you to have both of them in the same product, and as compared to, nobody in the entire world has ever done that, have both versions of turmeric that's available and so there's actually a patent on this. That's how novel and unique this is. And so, it is highly anti-inflammatory. Since I've been out in the desert after the convention last week, I've been doing a lot of advanced integrated. So we're doing many things that are very physical and empty hand, edge weapon, and up and down and shooting and all over the place. And so I woke up one morning and I was like, wow, extremely stiff. And then I realized how much impact we were doing with the sparring and the empty hand defense. And so, I'm taking these to reduce the pain and inflammation attached to, striking and moving and jumping up and down prone and shooting urban prone and things of that nature. So it is a product that I'm excited about because of the fact that you can incorporate that with Deep Blue, the complex. And so, if you're very active, and especially you bounding up and down that 100-foot tower with Sam, having these in your arsenal is very helpful to be able to allow your body to recuperate naturally and minimize pain, but also minimize injury or future injury. Because if you exercise and stretch like you were talking about, yes, you'll have less pain, less less issues. And, sometimes when you tell young athletes why it's important to stretch, they don't understand that until they actually get hurt because of injury that's needless. Right. And then it's a little late because it wasn't their wisdom, it was your wisdom, and they didn't want to accept it.
That's right. My grandson was a high school athlete. He neglected to bring his warm-up suit with him, and consequently he ran with cold muscles, and he hurt himself. And it took months for that to heal up, and it was a huge wake-up call for him to keep those muscles warmed up. Rappelling off 100-foot, actually it's going to be more than 100 foot tall. I'm not sure how tall it's finally going to be, but most people rappel facing backwards, but there's also the Australian rappel, where you're literally running face towards the ground, running down a vertical wall, with that ground getting closer and closer, with a weapon in the other hand. It's pretty exciting, and the closer that ground gets, the more exciting it gets there. I don't know if you've ever done that or not, Leon, but Australian rappel, you have? Okay. It's better it's better to do a Australian rappel on a steep incline rather than vertical. But of course, that's the kind of stuff they show in Hollywood, where they do these vertical, free rappel vertical, where you're inverted, I should say, and vertical. Now, that's pretty exciting. I've never done one of those, but maybe that's something I should do also. What do you think?
I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and you can actually have more control in that regard, doing it that way, especially if you're going to be carrying a weapon. And so, I took Nathaniel, and we did that out at Front Sight. And so he enjoys rappelling now. So it's a lot of fun to see, how he was thinking, oh, Dad, he was just playing with ropes. And now he has skills that, think about it, if we're in a hotel and it was on fire, he would be able to now do the knots and support to get people out of the windows and down off of a burning building, because he's learned these skills and he's 13 years old. So, the more skills you have, better you are across the board, whether it's cooking or whether it's tying knots. These things are simple, but you just have to take the energy. And you can watch the boob tube and get entertainment, but that's not going to help you in an emergency situation, because very few things you'll learn on TV, especially in the Kardashians, will have any kind of life impact when it comes to preparedness.
Do the Kardashians, these women, do they have any skills? Can they sing or dance or do something of... What skill sets do the Kardashian women have? I don't know.
Other than being attractive and having big butts and drama, I can't think of anything else.
That's not a skill set. That's just... I don't know what that is.
No, it isn't.
That's the whole thing. I'm aware that these women are icons in entertainment, but I just don't understand why. They don't sing, they can't dance, they can't act. I don't know. I don't want to dwell on that too much. Well, our goal here, Leon's goal and my goal, is to help make America great, one person at a time, using doTERRA oils, using the energy cleaner, getting the proper mental attitude that they can overcome and achieve goals. All these things work together to help people have the life that they want to have, right, Leon?
Absolutely. And matter of fact, maybe we can address some of the other new oils and products.
Let's do that, please. We got time right now. Let's do that.
Yes, sir. So one that's brand new is called the Adaptive Calming Blend. And so this one, I'm just reading from the email I just sent you, was when stress and tension seems to be relentless, Adaptive Calming Blend is the precise solution. Use it to get comfortable with new surroundings or situations. It helps boost mood and increase feelings of tranquility. So, think about this. New surroundings and situations. If there was a major earthquake or a hurricane, and you are now bugging out, that would qualify as that. And if you could get comfortable and learn how to relax and increase your feelings of tranquility, that would have a huge impact, especially if your family or other people in your group are freaking out because they are under the impression this is the end of the world as we know it. And so,
right.
Yes, that's a 3-part version. And so now I'm taking it before I go to sleep at night because of the fact I take that along with the Serenity gel caps. And let me tell you what's in that. So there's a video that describes how effective the oils are and why they chose those specific oils. But in essence, give me a second. What's in there is wild orange oil, lavender, copaiba, that's from Brazil, and spearmint, rosemary, and neroli, which is a phenomenal oil that's been used for eons because of how it is very good for being aphrodisiac, but very much a calming oil. And then the last one is sweet gum oil. And so that is in a liquid form. You can put it on your knuckle or put it on your nose, and you make a diffuser out of it. So it's similar to Balance.
Okay, now this is again adaptive common blend.
Calming blend, yes.
COMMON, common. Adaptive common blend. I'm going to get
Charlie Alpha Lima Mike India November Golf. Calm. Sorry.
Okay, adaptive calm. Okay, Charlie Alpha Lima Mike. Okay, well, I'm going to put that on my next order and get a bottle of it. It sounds really wonderful.
It is, and then there's also there's a 3-part version of that, and so then there's the capsules, and so the capsules. Looking at this, it describes all the contents in that. And without getting really deep into the medical, I want to make sure we can address all 11 of them as soon as possible. You can go on that YouTube video that I sent you, and they will be able to access that on your website. And so John has a link. I think it's 3rd or 4th down, and they click on that, and you'll be able to see the new oils, and you'll be able to see a video specifically on calming. And they have 6. doTERRA has actually produced 6 different clinical studies that are now peer-reviewed and available on PubMed.gov to be able to see some of these, and especially the turmeric. The turmeric aspect is one that excites me the most because of how many times I deal with people who deal with cancer. And because it's anti-inflammatory and inflammation, there was a Time magazine that on the front cover talked about inflammation, the silent killer, and so it describes, MS and all the autoimmune diseases, but also all the itises. Itis is the scientific term, whether it's colitis or bronchitis, or those are all attached to inflammation of that tissue, and so it affects the body drastically, and so that's why it's important to be able to minimize that, and so that's where the turmeric comes in. So the next one let's talk about is. Oh, there's one for the children. So we had the kids care last year, and that's a tamer digestible. And so this one, because caraway, the black, the caraway seeds and fennel. Sometimes it's too strong. It's like black licorice, and some children it's still too strong and aggressive for them.
Right.
And so they came out with the tamer blend, which is, I'm just reading. It says. It's a blend of oils known for their ability to ease the effects of motion sickness when inhaled or applied topically, calming aroma which may ease the effects of motion sickness and provides a soothing optimal massage. So for children, 2 years and also seniors, if they don't like the smell of black licorice or fennel, they can apply that too. And so you can rub this simple blend on the belly button or on the stomach, you cover it up, or touch it to the nose, and you can also take it internally. But this comes in a roller bottle, and so for people who have digestive issues, this is very good. And it's an add-on that I think is crucial for children, because think of all the interesting things they find to eat, and since their diets have not been set, depending on the age, everything that is new to them can cause diarrhea or constipation. So it is important for that. So that's Tamer Digestive Blend. And then there's the turmeric. And that's a dual chamber capsule. So when you look at it, it looks very similar to the PB Assist. It's a clear capsule, and it has the two important aspects of the entire turmeric root, and that's what made it unique, is that this dual chamber capsule, it helps support a healthy inflammatory response in the body, and it may help the body fight free radicals and protect the body from oxidative stress. So in essence, it's describing it as the C word. Free radicals are the ones that cause and are correlated with cancer. And so when you can mitigate and you can increase antioxidants in your body, that's why you always hear the medical industry saying, high in antioxidants. And the highest antioxidant in the entire world is clove oil, and cinnamon is next. So, but what's nice about the turmeric is that you can use it for inflammatory response in the body, as well as when you have these two. That's unique to doTERRA. There's no other thing in the world like this. It also addresses both of those, and they are delivered in the gut. So these are capsules that you swallow, and so when I say delivered in the gut, they open up specifically. It's an enteric-coated capsule that allows you to benefit into the digestive system directly, as compared to having it be affected by all the stomach acids. And that's one of the challenges people have had, not people, but just the businesses.
Hold that thought, Leon. Hold that thought. We'll be back after the break, everybody. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. J.R. Moore here on Tuesday, the 17th September. Leon, we got just a couple of minutes to talk about whatever oil or two we can, and we'll have to continue this next week, sir.
Yes, sir. And the other two that we can address real quickly are lemon eucalyptus and citronella, and both of them are highly effective with and they're two separate oils, but citronella is phenomenal in mosquito repellent, as a mosquito repellent. And so I can see how they're going to incorporate that with the TerraShield, but it is more effective for in that capacity. And so, when I saw those two together, or when they were described, I was like, yes, that's one thing that ticks and having Lyme disease here in America is definitely an important way to know how to minimize getting exposure to that. So it is very debilitating, and I know many people who've had that issue. And then the other one is celery seed. That is also digestive support as well. And so that is one that would be very helpful. And then the peppermint soft gels. And so peppermint has, when you talk about half-life, being metabolized in the body,
right,
is typically 2 hours. So it is very fast. The menthol in peppermint, that's half of what the dosage, whatever it is, it will last in the body about 2 hours, and then after that, it is completely metabolized. So for people who have digestive issues, it's great to have that in that way. But I use peppermint for mental clarity and staying awake, especially when I drive from Denver to Vegas. So having that is very good, and I take that on a regular basis. So we will go much more in depth in each one individually in the future, but I just wanted to say those the main oils that came out at this convention, and I look forward to going in depth with those, and especially having those on the cruise so people can see them firsthand if they haven't already got them.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me, Leon. An excellent plan, and we encourage people to go to my website at thelibertyman.com. There's a drop-down menu under products, and you'll find the doTERRA landing page there for my doTERRA website. And just educate yourself. Get a copy of the book, Modern Essentials, You want 2 editions, a 5th edition and the just released in the last few days, 11th edition, to further your education. If you want to start a business and have some extra income, give Leon a call, and he'll be glad to talk to you about that at 303-495-2188. We're here to help people, aren't we, Leon?
Absolutely. And talking about that, I was speaking with other people, and remember that speech that came from the Chinese general? I was trying to find it on your website, and has it been taken down? Because I can't seem to find it. Do you know where it is?
Well, I'm at the website right now. Just scroll down. There's a first set of 3, second set of 3. The third set of 3 on the left side, you'll see an eagle and a dragon with a Chinese flag and American flag on the left side.
Wow.
Okay, it's there.
Okay.
It's there.
All right. Well, I will look at it, and I look forward to speaking with you next week. I have some friends from China, and they're talking about what's happening in Hong Kong and how it's impacted their lives. And I wanted to learn more about it. So.
Yeah, find out and report back to us what they're saying. That would be good. Thank you, Lan. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
For the day, yes, sir. It's for the day. Medical supplies, your energy cleaner, your essential oils now while you can. Your firearms ammunition, never ever good for guns. Please do a fun, safe, productive day. God bless America.